All right, what is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We got to talk about Palantir absolutely just going to the moon here. Now, we love to see that Palantir was up over 30% today. This is a stock that I cover frequently on the channel, and this is one of my favorite stocks to trade. You can see, in the Discord, we had a really amazing day. 20K profits on some Palantir right here. Call options, I had some call options that went up crazy. We had some other guys in the Discord. Call options went up crazy. Even some action in here on Baba. Okay, you can see the $80 strike, 433% gains. Palantir is awarded a $650 million contract from the General Services Administration as miscellaneous software publishers. Just a really, really great, amazing day. And we've honestly been crushing it with our earnings plays in the Discord. There's a link in the description to sign up for that. It's only $10 a month. So in today's video, we're going to go over the path to, 24 and then potentially $26 in Palantir. All right. There's a little bit of work to be done, but right now things look great. And ARM has earnings coming up very soon. A lot of the AI related stocks have been performing very well on their earnings. If you take out Microsoft and Google and you take a look at a lot of the other names, all right, it's been an AI driven rally, all right, where the market's not really going up based on the soft landing theory. It's really just AI hype continuing to push the market up higher. And so if ARM, which is a big semiconductor play, has good earnings, that's going to continue that AI hype train and potentially continue the momentum in Palantir. We'll break down the chart for you guys and take a look at the structure potentially sending us up to those levels. And then we're going to go over their earnings, okay? We'll go over the highlights. We'll take a look at, some of the results from their earnings. It was a really great earnings. There's a reason that the stock is up 30%. And we're going to go over all of that for you guys in today's video. But as always, the content provided on the channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So be sure to read through the disclaimer. And if you're new to the channel, I started a completely free newsletter called Investment Intelligence, giving out free valuable finance content. And I try to also sprinkle in 1 to 2 free trade ideas a week. And this is what the trade ideas will look like, right? They'll have the conditions on the chart that we're looking at, whether it's moving averages, trend lines, support resistance levels, RSI, MACD, different things. We'll break all of that down for you and show you the chart itself. Now, many of these trade ideas have worked out very well, and it's because it's all about quality versus quantity. So I'm not spamming your inbox 5 to 10 times a week, trying to brag about 1 or 2 trade ideas that work, but rather just identifying high quality setups to you guys, showing you guys those high quality setups, and then also going over ways you can manage your risk in there. RTX was one of the most recent ones for January, and that trade idea worked out very, very well. That was a really nice one. And don't forget to join the Discord, okay? So you can see people in the Discord talking about RTX up here, saying how their position went up over 88% on their options. And you can get into the Discord, okay, for just $10 a month. So we talked about, we've been having really good success this earnings season in the Discord. And these are some screenshots from a lot of the different other plays that we've been in. SoFi was another one that we did really good on with earnings. It's $10 a month to join. That's where you get access to all the different analysis, all the different trade ideas, over 20 every single week. All right. When it comes to swing trades versus just the 1 or 2 for free. So you can sign up for the newsletter for free and get like maybe 1 or 2 a week, or you can sign up for the Discord for $10 a month and you get, 20 plus swing trade ideas, as well as intraday updates on things that I'm scalping. All right. And day trading, and then also custom scripts, indicators, being able to see dark pool levels, gamma levels for stocks and different things like that. So really great group. Hope to see you guys in there. And let's talk about Palantir's massive day, right? I mean, you can see here it was on Earth, and then it absolutely just skyrocketed up to the moon. All right, let's break down what actually happened with this, okay, and what's going on right now. All right, so we've been tracking this 5-wave bullish structure. Now, if you're not familiar, markets tend to either move in a 3 or a 5-wave structure. And your 3-wave structures tend to come in the form of an ABC, right? And an ABC here. And these are corrections, right? And then the 5-wave structure tends to be the impulsive move. And so, back here in the beginning of 2023, we started tracking this 5-wave structure. All right. And this is a weekly chart time frame here. We had a wave 1 up, right? And then we got an ABC structure here. Now, these are flats. Okay. We're not going to dive too deep into Elliott wave theory, but these are ABC flats. Okay. And these are corrective flats. right? Essentially kind of just forming a little bit of a double bottom, right? Rather than a low, higher low, and then lower low, and then getting the move up. We've been coming in here and forming flats. So when I saw this structure, I was looking for the same thing to potentially develop over here in September, October of last year. And that's exactly what we got. Now, wave three tends to be the strongest and most impulsive of all of the waves in a five-wave structure. And you can see that the stock went from $7 all the way up to $20. So a really impressive move here, right? And wave five is going to potentially take us up to about 25.54. Now, these targets aren't targets to live or die by. Sometimes they can overshoot them. Sometimes they can undershoot them. Okay, but that's an area where we're looking at. Now, the blue boxes on here, these are what's known as gaps. Okay, and these gaps, they do tend to fill about 90% of the time historically. The question you have to ask yourself is, when are they going to fill, right? And so you can see that we tried to fill this big gap down from one of its previous earnings over here, but really we just came and filled about half of that gap. Filling half of the gap is, in this case, when it's a gap down to fill, that is very bullish. What this is this is inventory correction. We see that inventory was corrected here, and it's often a reversal signal. And we've got this gap up to fill at 24, which has been a target for a long time. And if we just go over the very basics of technical analysis, right? You have old support, okay? And then we come here and we try to test this level and we don't even bounce here at all. We just completely flush through it. And then that old support becomes new resistance. And here we are again testing those same levels. So we've got a very important zone that we've been testing. And the more times you test the level, the weaker it's going to get. So we're going to look for the possibility of breaking out past this zone over the next coming weeks, if not sooner. But we also want to be mindful that, hey, we may get a breakout and then a retest push higher before we come up to our bullish price targets of 25 to 26. And of course, shorter term than 25, 26, we're looking for this gap fill up here at $24. So, those are really the key levels and structures. This is the wave 5 target via the Elliott wave for this pattern. And we're going to see if that can play out after giving us a textbook, wave 1 up with an ABC flat here, and then wave 3 up with another flat here, and then wave 5 seems like it's going really, really well. So, the chart looks bullish for me, and it's going to be bullish until otherwise. Anything can happen and change the structure and validate some of the wave counts, but at the moment, things are tracking very, very well. Now, if we look at the Q3 or the Q4 2023 highlights, they had GAAP net income of 93 million. That was a 15% margin. This was also their 5th consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability. So I'm really just waiting on the S&P 500 inclusion right now. If we can get that, that's going to be another really big catalyst for Palantir coming in the future. All right, GAAP income from operations of 66 million, representing an 11% margin. That's their 4th consecutive quarter of GAAP operating profitability. So we're just seeing good things across the board in Palantir right now. It had adjusted EPS of 8 cents. Revenue grew 20% year over year and 9% quarter over quarter to 608 million. Now, commercial is really where we saw some big moves. Okay. And the CEO was talking about this previously. And, commercial revenue grew 70% year over year. That is huge, guys. That's very, very big. And if that's going to continue growing, right, then we're going to see higher valuations being justified in Palantir, and ultimately that will lead to higher stock prices. All right, the customer count in commercial grew 55% year over year, and 22% quarter over quarter. Lots of really, really great things. Commercial revenue grew 32% year over year. Government revenue grew 11% year over year. The customer count as a whole grew 35% year over year. A cash from operations of 301 million. That's representing a 50% margin here, and adjusted free cash flow of 305 million, representing a 50% margin. Okay, and then they've got cash equivalents, and short-term U.S. Treasury securities of 3.7 billion. So the company looks great. They are not in debt right now. And, this is not a time necessarily where you want to be in debt. All right. A lot of profitless companies that have high amounts of debt, they've been punished in the stock market because of the interest rate environment that we're in, where it costs a lot of money to borrow. So if you look at the fiscal year 2023 highlights, Revenue grew 17% year over year. Commercial revenue grew 20% year over year. Lots of really, really great things. Adjusted free cash flow representing a 33% margin. Really impressive stuff. And this is why the stock has went up so much. This is just another way to look at a few of the things that we talked about. But again, year over year growth in revenue, 20%. Really, really impressive. All right, that's for the fourth quarter. For the full year, 17%. All right, and you can take a look at some of the different margins here. It's adjusted EBITDA. All right, and I'm really impressed with this. Wall Street obviously was really impressed with this. And if we take a look at their outlook, all right, they're expecting revenue of about 612 to 616 million, and then adjusted income from operations of 196 to 200 million. And then for the full year 2024, they're expecting revenue of about 2.65 to about 2.668 billion. U.S. commercial revenue in excess of 640 million, representing a growth rate of at least 40%. Adjusted income from operations 834 to 850 million, adjusted free cash flow of 800 million to 1 billion, GAAP operating income in each quarter of this year, and GAAP net income in each quarter of this year. And you can go to their website too, palantir.com/newsroom/letters. And that's where you can see the CEO, Alex Karp's annual letter, through the Palantir website. I think that if you're someone who's really excited about Palantir, wants to know more about it, that's definitely going to be worth a read. Didn't want to go through that whole thing in today's video. Now that wraps it up. Okay. Don't forget to join the Discord. It's $10 a month, less than a cup of coffee a week. You can see lots of the plays that we've been in the Discord in the past. It's still new. It's still growing. We're right around 60 members right now. It's only $10 to join, so less than a cup of coffee a week. You can, if you don't want to sign up for that, just sign up for the newsletter. That's completely free. Either way, I think you guys will enjoy it all together. Just trying to provide some value for you guys, and just give you guys some honest stuff, okay? Versus everything on YouTube. One of the main reasons I started a channel was just because it seemed like there was just so much trash out there, and a lot of people's stuff just didn't even make sense. Once you've actually been trading, for years, you start to realize that a lot of these people don't know what they're talking about. So I just figured, all right, well, why don't I just give it a try and start my own channel and try to actually put some good content out there that actually makes sense. Now, if you enjoy the free content, such as the newsletter or the videos, you can always click on my Ko-Fi page. There's a link in the description for that. And you click on this little buy a coffee button, basically a way to leave a tip or donation. And you can also book coaching sessions in there, right? So you can book a 30-minute or a 1-hour coaching session in there by clicking on the commissions tab right here. All of the Discord members, they get 20% off of the coaching sessions. I just had one yesterday with one of the new Discord members. He loved it. And, we do a lot of stuff in there. We go over, many different things. Some people want to go over day trading dynamics, swing trading strategies, interactive Q&As, right? So if you just got a bunch of burning questions that you want to come at me with, try to get things figured out. I'd love to give you guys my perspective. And, a lot of people hit me up for options as well, right? And different option strategies, how to hedge with options or leverage the shares that you own to get, sometimes free hedges, or get some callers out of those, different things like that. So check out the Ko-Fi page, check out the newsletter, check out the Discord. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.